Time for sound design. In this video I sample a vocal phrase and turn it into a sampled instrument with infinite sustain using Ableton's sampler. In previous videos I have mostly used simpler to create instruments, but in this video I choose to use sampler because of its more advanced looping mode. The sample I'm going to use is from the intro of the song It's Okay by The Game from 2006. So in this rap record there is a reggae artist, Junior Reid, who does the intro and he stretches a vocal quite long. So I'm going to grab that piece and throw it into sampler. Let's go to Ableton and build an instrument. So I'll play you a part of the sample that I took from this vinyl record. So this is the part I mean where he really stretches the word blood, and I think this is a perfect part to loop into sampler to create an instrument with infinite sustain. So meaning that you can hold down the key indefinitely and the sample will be playing and you don't notice that it's actually a short sample that loops. So let's throw the sample into sampler and adjust the start and end points. Put the release down to 1 second. Put a low pass at 100 Hertz. So this is the part of the sample that I want to use. So with the regular loop mode that you would also have in Simpler, which is the one that goes forward and then goes back to the beginning and forward again, you will really clearly hear the looping point. So the looping mode I'm going to use for this example is forward backward. So the third one. And here you notice that already there's less of a click, less of a noticeable looping point. And to make that even better, I'm going to adjust the start point and the crossfade. You just hear at the beginning there's still a bit of a cymbal. So I'm going to adjust it a bit more. So as you can hear now, that is almost indistinguishable what is the loop. And when you play this, there's a little bit of a tick. I'm not sure if it's actually in the sample itself that there's a little tick. But let's go to the envelope and also do some EQing and see if we can smoothen it out even more. Going to the tab Filter Global. Let's put the attack at 10. Let's increase the release to 2 seconds. Maybe sustain at -1. Let's put a 200 Hertz low cut EQ. And now let's tune it, because when I play a C on the keyboard, it plays a G that is a bit too high, to -14. Oh wait, that's the wrong one. I have to do it here, detune, and I set the root note at a G, because that's what it is. So now when I play a C on the keyboard, it actually, you hear a C. Just to make this a bit more smooth even, I'm gonna add a little bit of reverb, not too much. So I just put the decay on maybe 2400 milliseconds and at 45% dry wet. And let's put in some notes just to create some kind of pattern. When I play C3, it's already lower than the original. So the original is, this is the original, it's a G, G3. So I'm playing it lower than the original. I think that sounds better. If you go higher, it sounds very chipmunk. If you go way lower, it sounds okay. But let's see if I can make some kind of pattern. And this sounds quite okay, but maybe the long notes would be nice if there's a little bit of filter cutoff or vibrato or something happening in the long note, so it becomes a bit more interesting. So let's see if we can add some kind of effect here, or perhaps we use the filter of that's built into sampler. So that's here on the Filter Global tab. And So what I did is I put the amount of the filter envelope at minus, let's go with minus 48. So that means that the filter closes, because it's minus, it's going to close a little bit. So I put it already at like, let's say 12,500 hertz. I adjust the envelope a bit so you get a bit of that closing effect. That's cool, but the other thing I want to add is a tremolo. I'm going to add the tremolo after the reverb. So on the long notes, I want to add some, so I'm going to enable the tremolo only on certain notes. So I'm going to right click, show automation in new lane, and now I can draw in the automation on the longer notes. And select this and duplicate it. And what I want 8 notes, and I want somewhere around 50% maybe. Maybe 40% and 16 notes. Get a bit of a tremolo, a bit of like a vibrating in volume kind of effect. The reason why I do it in automation lanes instead of using the volume automation or the modulation in samplers, that I only want it on certain notes, so I don't want it on the short notes. So yeah, that's really it for this video. I started with the sample that sounds like this. So I'll just play a little bit of the sample. And I used sampler to have this short vocal sample, this stretched note, into an instrument with infinite sustain. So now when I play a note, I can just hold this note. With a little tick in the I think it's in the sample actually. And then with some filter modulation in sampler, some EQ, reverb, and some tremolo automation, I created this. As always, I will now combine the sampler with all the effects into an instrument rack and save it to my library so I can pull this sampled instrument up when I'm making new music. If you're interested in sampled instruments, I have a sample library over on Gumroad. It's 50 sampled instruments, mostly simpler for Ableton. There's 1 or 2 that uses sampler actually. So go get that sample pack, it's free. And as always, see you in the next one.